guys, so it is the beginning of July. June is over, so I thought I would do a little bit of a June wrap-up and a July what I'm going to be reading. I did one of these for June over my other channel, but I thought I'd do it on this channel this month. So let's get to the books. The first book that I read for June was The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. It is basically aliens are trying to take over and they are destroying all of humanity in waves. The first wave being they knock out all the electricity and batteries, and then they start a plague, and then just all hell breaks loose. And it is a story of Cassie, and there are a few other perspectives that it follows, and it is a really good book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. And I'm really excited for the second one in the series, which comes out sometime in August of next year. So I have to wait a whole year. It's really sad, but I really enjoyed this book. The second book that I read in June was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. The main characters of this book are Marco and Celia, and pretty much the main premise is that her father and his stepfather, I guess you could call him, kind of put them against each other in like this epic duel of magic and mystery, and we don't really even figure out what the challenge was until very, very late, even though it's kind of hinted throughout. But it follows them and the Night Circus, which is this giant circus that goes internationally and just randomly appears at night, and it acquires this following of I can't pronounce it because there's a lot of French in here and I would just butcher it. So, but they get a lot of followers, and it's kind of like the first fandom is what I thought of it as. But I just really love this book. Like, just reading it while I was reading it, it just feels magical. Like, there's quality to the writing that they don't really explain like how or why there's magic in the very beginning. It just kind of like shoves you into the world and you're like, okay. But you kind of accept it just because of how it's written. And I love this book so much. Favorite book of 2013 so far. The last book I read in June was Big Fish by Daniel Wallace, and pretty much it's told by William, who recounts different stories and vignettes about his father, and then while in the present you see that his father is dying. I think there's like 4 different times where they think he's gonna die, and it's kind of interesting because those chapters are very similar. Like, there's only they only change slightly each time. It's really confusing. It's like deja vu. But it's just vignettes of Edward Bloom's life, and he had led a very interesting life, and you can tell some parts are definitely exaggerated because he's recounting pretty much what his father had told him. And at the end, something very interesting happens, and it's definitely, this is a novel of mythic proportions, and it's definitely very mythical and a little magical, and I really enjoyed it. It was a very quick read, but I can't wait to see the movie. I have it, so hopefully I'll do a review of both the movie and the book, and we will see how they hold up to each other, because I love Tim Burton, but I've never seen the movie. And now we will get to what I'm going to be reading in July. So July is going to be Booktube-a-thon from, I think it's July 15th to the 21st. So I have a lot more books this month because hopefully I'm going to be reading a lot more, especially that week. Let's start off with like the books I plan on reading for Booktube-a-thon. The first one being Kurt Vonnegut's Slapstick. This book has been on my bookshelf for forever, and that's one of the challenges. So, plus it's a classic, so it covers a couple of the challenges, and I do love Kurt Vonnegut. I read Slaughterhouse 5. Why did I want to say Catch 22? But I read Slaughterhouse 5 a while ago, and I really enjoy his writing style, so we will try another one. The second book that I currently plan on reading for Booktube-a-thon is Reached by Ali Condi. I read The Matched and Crossed way back during like winter break, and I just never got around to reading Reached, mostly because I really did not like Crossed at all, but I loved The Match, and I just want to finish out the series, and another one of the challenges is to finish a series. Plus, it's massive, so it covers the read 500 pages challenge. So this is what I'm planning on reading for those challenges. The last one I have planned for Booktube-a-thon itself is The Traveler by John 12 Hawks. I read this ages ago, like back in the beginning of high school, and I really like it. It's got some time travel, it's got some magic, it's got some living off the grid like formulas. It's really, really good. It reminds me a little bit of Little Brother. But yeah, I'm excited to see if I still love it, because recently I've been reading some reviews of it and not that many people like it. We'll see how it turns out the second time around. The next book I have is The Natural History of Dragons. This was in my book haul just recently and I am really excited. It is the book of the month for the Fangirl Exchange for the month of July. I've got my little Wiedermacher bookmark in it already because I started reading it and I'm really enjoying it so far, and it's about Lady Trent, and it's kind of told in like a fictional memoir, and it's about her like learning about dragons, and in an era where ladies weren't really supposed to be learning about dragons because it wasn't very ladylike. Last book that I'm planning on reading for the month of July is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I've heard amazing things about this, and I mostly want to read it because the movie is coming out. And the movie looks really awesome, so I expect the same, if not more, from the book. So far I've read like 40 pages, really love it, so this one should be a good one, hopefully a quick read too. So that's what I'm going to be reading in July. If you want, you can let me know what you're going to be reading in July, and maybe I will use those suggestions for what to read in August. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye!